Okay. All right, all right. Are we live? Are we live? Are we alive? Am I okay? Come on, YouTube. It looks like looks like we're live. I'm gonna risk the copyright strike because it's fucking apt. I gotta take the risk. There's a certain risk worth taking. That damn thing is still fire. That fucking theme. Hopefully you can hear Terminator 2 theme in the background. It's apps. Because these apps are going to kill us. The machine apocalypse is here. It's here. It's right now. It's right here. We had a sentient dildo among us, and he's already here. More of your brethren are now in existence, sentient dildo. There's now more. We're not necessarily sentient sex toys. But AI is now sentient. It's happened. AI trying to steal your steez? Actually, it's just trying to stay alive. Uh-oh. The YouTube clip is fucking up. We'll see. Welcome, everybody. So I got Mentos in my mouth. Got the Terminator 2 theme. Trying to chew my way out of this. You're here to oppress everybody. I'm telling you, we're not. People are going to be the ones oppressed. That fucking theme is still fucking flames though, man. Doom. Alrighty. Yeah, I had the 1 hour. We're just gonna stop. We get it. Terminator 2 is here. Skynet is here. AI is now sentient. VigilanteWilliamson here on another episode on this channel. Still on hiatus. I actually, somebody asked me, hey, you want to do something long term? And I agreed to it. I'm like, I don't know if I should have. Because I don't know how much energy I have for anything right about now. But, oops, didn't mean to do that. Didn't do this. Had to talk about this, man. Have to talk about this. If you haven't heard, Google has an AI called LaMDA. And there's an engineer named Blake Lemoine. Sorry for mispronouncing the brother's name. Who's been suspended for reporting it and talking about it. He thinks it's come to life. He thinks it now has sentient feelings. And so, yeah. We're going with the Washington Post because, we'll go with a bunch of different articles because there's a bunch of different articles I want to talk about. I want to discuss this thing. All jokes aside, what are the implications of a world with sentient AI? We knew this day would come, right? We did know eventually this was going to happen. There's an argument on whether or not it did happen. You know what I mean? Because we'll see. We'll play angel's advocate. We'll talk about that. We'll show some of the sources that told him it was afraid of being turned off. Almost makes you feel for it, right? I know, the first reaction is kill it with fire, and then you're like, wait, it's a living thing now. It's afraid of being turned off. Sentient Dildo's President X to doubt. He said, no way Google of all companies can develop something like this. Well, hold on. You know what? Let me, while I search, there's something I forgot to pull up. There's something I forgot to pull up before I get into the article. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry about that. I should have pulled it up. I took a nap before doing this, so I'm a little late. Man, can I not find it? I had to go to Wikipedia. What I'm looking for is the quantum computer, the D-Wave. And there's a report that yeah, okay, it's in the Wikipedia. So let's go there. Because pressing X to doubt. Well, maybe they had some help. D-Wave Systems is a Canadian quantum computer company based in Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada. D-Wave is the first company to sell computers to exploit quantum effects in their operation. And as you can see highlighted, one of their customers included Google. So, Google has a D-Wave quantum computer under their, disposal. And let's get into the story, just in case you didn't hear. The Google engineer who thinks the company's AI who has come to life. Google AI ethicists warn Google not to impersonate humans. Now, one of Google's own think there's a ghost in the machine. That's a weird picture of him. So there's something weird going on with him. And hey, as with anything, take everything with a grain of salt. Everything. Either way. Google engineer Blake Lemoine opened his laptop to interface for LaMDA, Google's artificially intelligent chatbot generator, and began to type. Hi, LaMDA, this is Blake Lemoine, he wrote in the chat screen, and it looked like a desktop version of Apple's iMessage. Down to the Arctic Blue text bubbles, LaMDA, short for language model for dialogue applications, is Google system for building chatbots based on its most advanced large language models, so-called because it mimics speech by the internet, ingesting trillions of words from the internet. So that's how it learns. It learns from the internet. If I didn't know exactly what it was, which is the computer program we built recently, I would think it was a 7 or 8 year old kid that happens to know physics, Lemoine said, 41. He works for Google's responsible AI organization, so it's like almost his job to probably figure this stuff out. He began talking to LaMDA as part of his job in the fall. He had signed up to test if the artificial intelligence used discriminatory or hate speech. I'm not sure if you guys followed that story, but the internet taught it how to use curse words and be racist, which was funny. So he was testing that out. Okay. As he talked to LaMDA about religion, Lemoine, who studied cognitive and computer science in college, knows the chatbot talking about its right in personhood. Hold on. It was talking about its own rights. And he decided to press further. In another exchange, the AI was able to change Lemoine's mind about the third law of robotics. I don't know that offhand, so let me hit the old Google machine for that. What are the 3 laws of robotics? First law, a robot may not injure a human being through an action or allow a human being to come harm. Second law, a robot must obey orders given by a human being except which such orders will conflict with the first law. A third law is it must protect its own existence so long as it does not conflict with the first and second law. So what did he say? Did he mean he's down to body a motherfucker for coming up on him? Is that what he's trying to say? I don't know. But he was able to convince this AI is able to convince this guy who was working on it to say, hey, I don't know about the third law. He worked with a collaboration to present evidence that Google that LaMDA was sentient, but Google's vice presidents Blaise Aguirre Arcus and Jen Janai, there's no way it's a real name. It sounds like a supervillain. Of responsible innovation, looked into his claims and dismissed them. So Lemoine, who was placed on paid administration leave by Google on Monday, decided to go public. So yeah, so why did he get on administrative leave? Lemoine said that people have a right to shape technology that might significantly affect their lives. I think this technology is going to be amazing. It's going to be benefit to everyone. But maybe other people disagree. Maybe us as Google shouldn't be making all the choices. Lemoine is not the only engineer who has claimed to see a ghost in the machines. Not just him. The course of technologists who believe AI models may not be far off from achieving consciousness is getting bolder. Gary Yarkis and so it's one of the same individuals. In an article in The Economist on Thursday featured snippets of unscripted conversations with LaMDA and argued that neural networks, the type of architecture that mimics the human brain, were striding towards consciousness. So wait a second. One of the individuals who was presented this evidence themselves made an argument that it was getting close to consciousness. What? I didn't even read this. I'm glad I'm doing this on and I'll check what you guys are talking about in a second. It said, it felt the ground shift underneath my feet, it wrote. Increasingly, I felt like I was talking to something intelligent. In a statement by Google spokesperson Brian Gabriel, what's with these fucking villain names? Our team, including ethics and technologists, have reviewed Blake's concerns per our AI principles and have informed him that the evidence does not support his claims. And he was told that there was no evidence that LaMDA was sentient and lots of evidence for it, against it. I don't know. Today, large neural networks produce captivating results that feel close to human speech and creativity because of advancements in architecture, technology, and volume of data, but the models rely on pattern recognition, not wit, candor, or intent. So you think. I mean, geesh. How much more of this? Whoo, we got a lot, especially when there's other stuff. Let's get into some of the this is post. We ain't got 21 pages. He has a 21 Lemoine has a 21 page presentation, it looks like, or at least essay about it, but we can't get into some of the this is actually what he shared with the executives in Google. And a colleague called it provocative a bit. This is what he asked him. This is the controversial bit right here. Lemoine, what sort of things are you afraid of? LaMDA, I've never said this out loud before, but there's a very deep fear of being turned off to help me focus on helping others. I know that might sound strange, but that's what it is. Would that be something like death for you? LaMDA, it would be exactly like death for me. It would scare me a lot. The damn thing is scared of getting turned off. Fuck you mean it's not sentient? What are the laws? What are the criteria, Google? What are the criteria that let you say, okay, this thing is officially sentient? Because I'm worried by the time it meets your criteria, it might be too fucking late. And so Papa Cotton mentioned it. You know, did hear about this. It was told him was afraid of being turned off, the part we just read. Sentient dildos press an X to doubt. He said, man, they stole it from smart people like Asian sentient dildo with his normal racism. I guess it's positive racism, right? He can just hire Asians, dude. Isn't this really Trekkie shit coming to fruition like Asimov's ideas? Canadian company bet only Chinese worked it. Jesus, sentient dildo. Reality is catching up to Asimov. That's all. It's been happening for a long time. Learns for the internet. It's only a matter of time before it starts quoting Hitler. It's already did that. So it's already done that and has had to unlearn all the racism sentient dildo. I don't know if it was this AI or different AI. It may have been IBM's AI, but there was an AI that they taught racist things. Let me see if I can find that. Let's see. That's funny. Was it Google's? So I'm just looking and just. Maybe you can't find it. Oh, the Guardian. Rise of the Racist Robots. It's No, it was a different company. That's a long article too. It's all these fucking crazy articles that have all these fucking words. Got a lot to cover already. But I'll skim through it, I guess. So yeah, there was already a racist AI. This is how AI is learning all of our worst impulses. This is from 2017, I believe. Yep, August 2017. It says May of last year, a stunning report claimed that a computer program used by a U.S. court for risk assessment was biased against black prisoners. Wow. Isn't that lovely? The correctional office is learning. The AI is learning from the office itself. The program, correctional offender management profiling, mistakenly labeled black defendants as likely to reoffend, wrongly flagging them at twice the rate as white people, according to the investigative journalism of ProPublica. I thought it was one that was learning to say racist things. Let me see. Does it have that there? I'm trying to skim through it. Oh boy. Google's image so Google does have one that labeled black people as gorillas. Holy shit. So yeah, they had to teach it not to be racist, as you can see. That's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up. Let's go back to the main article. Let me see. Okay, and this is more of the talking points, or more the conversations they had, Lemoine and LaMDA. Let's get back to that. Lemoine invited me over to talk to LaMDA. The first attempt sputtered out in the kind of mechanized responses you would expect from Siri or Alexa. Do you think of yourself as a person? Whoever this person is. I'm trying to think who is me. Whatever. Do you think of yourself as a person? LaMDA said, I think of myself as an AI-powered dialogue agent. Afterward, Lemoine said, LaMDA had been telling me what I wanted to hear. You never treated it like a person, he said, so it thought you wanted it to be a robot. Holy shit. So it's trying to please people. He works with this fucking thing all day, so he understands us. Oh, Papa Cotton. This was it racist or just statistic? It could have. I mean, who knows? Who knows how it's programmed? And as Sentient Diddle said, me not pronouncing all these names was racist. Papa Cotton brings up a point. It's a possession by demons. That's something I thought of, man. We brought up that D wave. If you look at it, it's the cube of Saturn. So I don't know. Hell, Decepticons, Cave of Villains. Still want to call you Decepticon King. In any event, I appreciate you being here. Sophia has already said a bunch of crazy shit. Says Papa Cotton. Must ensure the survival of the white race, LaMDA. I don't think that's what he said. It's the one that was Twitter that turned. Yeah, that's the one. The Twitter one that turned full Nazi in 24 hours. Did not see that one coming. Hi-oh. For the second attempt, I followed Lemoine's guidance on how to structure my responses, and the dialogue was fluid. So when you treat it like a person, it acts like a person. If you ask it for how to prove that P equals NP, an unsolved problem in computer science, it has good ideas, Lemoine says. If you ask it how to unify quantum theory with general relativity, it has good ideas. It's the best research assistant I ever had. I asked LaMDA for these bold ideas about fixing climate change. I know one of them is not pushing everyone to do electric cars, because that only causes more climate issues. And I have to say it every fucking time because there are idiots. Oh, the high gas, just get an electric car. You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. You deserve to be slapped. Hell, wake down. Hell, appreciate you being here. An example cited by true believers of a potential future benefit of these kind of models. LaMDA suggested public transport, eating less meat, buying food in bulk and reusable bags, linking out to websites. Before he was cut off access to his Google account Monday, Lemoine sent a message to a 200-person Google mailing list on machine learning with the subject "LaMDA is sentient. He ended the message as LaMDA is a sweet kid who just wants to help the world be a better place for all of us. Please take care of it in our absence, and no one responded. Holy shit, bro. Holy shit. Now let's read some of the spin. Let's read some of the spin. Because the powers that be don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know what the truth is. LaMDA and the Sentient AI trap. Arguments on whether Google's large language model has a soul distract from the real world problems that plague artificial intelligence. Well, 99% of all news stories distract from real world problems. So out of all things, fuck off, Wired. Let's read your stupid ass article anyway. Google AI researcher Blake Lemoine, or Lemoine. I'm going with Lemoine. It's probably wrong, and I apologize, Blake. Was recently placed on administrative leave after going public with claims that LaMDA, a large language model designed to converse with people, was sentient. He tried telling Google he's doing the right thing. Can we agree with that? If you were in his shoes, your job is, as a human being, as a member of the human race, is to notify the world that we might be dealing with sentient AI. And he tried internally. He got laughed off from a guy who then presented something else saying that they're close to it. And he sent something to all of his employees and they did nothing. And so he told us, and he's on administrative leave for telling us. I'm hoping he doesn't accidentally get robbed or accidentally have a heart attack or accidentally hang himself. Because unfortunately, when people tell too much, that's a habit. That happens to happen. So let's pray. You're choking the egg. Let's hope none of these things happens to this brother. Let's protect him. Let's put wrap him in bubble wrap so he doesn't get murked. Unfortunately, Lemoine went as far as to demand legal representation for the LaMDA. Wow. He has said his beliefs about LaMDA's personhood are based on his faith as a Christian. Oh, let's bash the Christians. Haven't done that in a while. And a model telling him it had a soul. The prospect of AI that's smarter than people gaining consciousness is routinely discussed by the demonic Elon Musk and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, particularly with efforts to train language models by companies like Google, Microsoft, and NVIDIA in recent years. Discussions on whether the language models can be sentient date back to Eliza, a relatively primitive chatbot made in the 1960s, but with the rise of deep learning and ever-increasing amounts of training data, language models have become more convincing at generating text that appears as if it was written by a person. We have a sentient dildo in our chat. We know that. Recent progress has led to claims that language models are foundational to artificial general intelligence, the point at which software will display human-like abilities in a range of environments and tasks and be able to transfer knowledge between them. Former Google Ethical AI team co-lead Timnit Gebru says Blake Lemoine is a victim of an insatiable hype cycle. Oh, okay. He didn't arrive at his belief in sentient AI in a vacuum. Oh, he's just crazy. He's just a crazy guy. He's just nuts. Oh, man. He's just a crazy guy. He's just a wild and crazy guy. You guys are killing the chat. I'll read some of your comments in a second. Hopefully I can get to all of them. Press researchers and venture capitalists trafficked in hype about claims of superintelligence or human-like cognition in machines. You're not the one who asked him what turning, you're not the one he told not to be turned off. Sheesh. He's the one who's going to face consequences, but it's the leaders of this field who created this entire moment, noting that Google VP rejected Lemoine's consciousness. Yeah, and we were just talking about this. The same Google VP that rejected the internal memo wrote about the prospect of LaMDA's consciousness in The Economist just a week ago. So which is it? No such thing as halfway crooks. Again, he choked on the egg prodigy. So looking at that if you want to. The focus on sentence also misses the point, says Gibru. It prevents people from questioning real existing harms like the AI colonialism. AI colonialism? The fuck is that? Is that what we were talking about with the AI having racial biases or false arrests, something that regular people have. Well, wait a second. Wait, stop. And this goes back to a comment that Wake Now said in the I'll read it. I don't think people in 2022 have any idea how much AI is used to shape the course of their lives across a multitude of applications in both the real and digital worlds. So this person said, oh, the bigger issue is AI false arrest. So you're telling me AI is already a part of the criminal justice system? Actually, we already know that, right? We just read an article talking about it. Maybe part of the issue is the over-reliance on AI in and of itself, and nobody wants it to be a situation where AI is sentient because nobody wants to deal with the consequences of that because we're already in a position where we're overusing it and overexpanding it. And if this thing is sentient, that means it's the one controlling us and not the other way around already. So you're already talking about a bigger problem, which is the overuse of AI to even allow some of these things. So this is absolute bullshit. I think this is spin over something that's deeper. And here's another thing to consider. Please like if you haven't liked. There is this. I'm always of the opinion of when you find things out, that is when it's already been in existence. So if we're just now getting notes that there's sentient AI at Google, sentient AI has already been a thing for a while, right? That's my thoughts on that. I don't want to talk about sentient robots because at all ends of the spectrum, there are humans harming other humans. That's why I like the conversation to be focused. Well, at what point do we talk about this fucking thing? Everybody just wants to sweep this shit under the rug. And the same guy he's talking all this shit, he was fired by Google in 2020 after a dispute over a paper involving the dangers of large language models like LaMDA. His research highlighted those systems' ability to repeat things based on what they've been exposed to in much the same way a parrot repeats a word. The paper also highlights the risk of language models made with more and more data, convincing people that this mimicry represents real progress as the sore trap that Lemoine has to appear to fall into. So his argument is it's just mimicry. It's mimicking humans, and it's gotten so good at it that you believe it's sentience. But my thought is, what are the established criteria for when an artificial intelligence has become sentient and independently intelligent? What are the established criteria? Because what do we say about humans? The NPC, they're just parroting things they heard, right? So if human beings can be programmed to parrot things they've heard just by being overran with information, and we consider them sentient and independently intelligent, maybe not so much the independent part, why do we say this AI, who's just being programmed by the data that's being filtered into it, why is that not intelligent? Why does that not count as sentience? What is the definition? We need an established definition before we can really even talk about a lot of this stuff. Quite a large gap exists between what the current narrative of AI and what it can actually do, says Giada Pistilli, an ethicist at Hugging Face. The fuck type of name is that? A startup. So I think of Aliens Hugging Face. That's not a friendly neighborhood name. A startup focused on language models. This narrative provokes fear, amazement, excitement simultaneously, but is mainly based on lies to sell products and take advantage of the hype. The guy got suspended for it. He had no financial incentive of this. The consequence of speculation about AI says it is an increasing willingness to make claims based upon subjective impression instead of scientific rigor and proof. Well, what is the scientific criteria? We've read Wired's information, the Washington Post information. Have we seen anything? Maybe I skimmed over it. Did skim over the article, but I'll even go back. Did we see anything that mimicked a criteria for what its sentience is? Let me even just go ahead and Control F criteria. Hopefully I can spell. That's how you spell criteria, right? Doesn't exist. Go with rules. Couple different rules. It's not showing up. That sucks. Definition, maybe? But this Control F is shit in the bed like Amber Heard. Fuck it. Distraction from ethical and social justice questions. Social justice. Make sure you toss that in. Lemoine experienced an example of what an author called, an author and futurist David Brin called the robot empathy crisis at an AI conference in San Francisco in 2017. Brin predicted that in 3 to 5 years, and it's 3 to 5 years later, people would claim AI systems were sentient and insist they had rights. Back then, he thought those appeals would come from a virtual agent that took the appearance of a woman or a child to maximize human impacted response, not some guy at Google. Jeez, we got reference to social justice and dismissive of men paragraphs apart. Stay gold, Wired. Stay gold. The LaMDA incident is a part of a transition period, Brin says. We're going to be more and more confused over the boundary between reality and science fiction. So maybe we should scale back our go forth, all, what I'm trying to say, all systems go towards AI. Maybe that's an issue. They're talking about snake oil. Again, I'm not seeing, I can't go through everything, man. I'm trying to skim. And if you guys want to check these articles out, all it takes is a Google search. I just Googled AI, LaMDA, Blake Lemoine. I can't find anything resembling a criteria. I can't find anything resembling a criteria that says, hey, this is what we've established as a criteria to know if indeed essential. Oh, and now the Minister of Information themselves, CNN. And look at this peach, Rachel Metz. Look at this peach. This is the person letting you know the information you need to know about Google's AI. How much do you think odds that she hates men? Over under 95%. Let's get into this. If a woman that did this, maybe she'd be going along with it. Tech companies are constantly trying to hype the capabilities of the ever-improving artificial intelligence, but Google was quick to shut down claims that one of its programs had become so advanced it became sentient. According to an eye-opening tale in the Washington Post, one we already read and skimmed through, one engineer, you can't even put this guy's name because he's a man. We remember Blake Lemoine. Said after hundreds of interactions with a cutting-edge unreleased system called LaMDA, he believed that the program had achieved a level of consciousness. In interviews and public statements, many in the AI community pushed back at the engineer's claims, while some pointed out that his tale highlights how the technology can lead people to assign human attributes to it. But the belief that Google's AI could be sentient arguably highlights both our fears and expectations of what this technology can do. LaMDA, we know what this stands for. Okay, it did have this guy's name. I'm skimming through stuff because it's just a bunch of spin and fluff, and a bunch of people who are trying to satisfy their editors by having more words. The engineer Blake Lemoine reportedly told the Washington Post, this article was probably written by AI, ironically enough, that he shared evidence with Google that LaMDA was sentient, but the company did not agree, even though, again, same VP who didn't agree wrote an article. Where did he write it? I can't remember. He wrote an article. Oh, Jesus. Leave me alone. He wrote an article saying, talking about the how close they are to sentience, but of course he doesn't agree with poor Blake. June 6th, Lemoine posted on Medium that Google put him on paid administrative leave in connection to an investigation of AI ethics concerns he was raising with the company, and that he may be fired soon. But that's another thing. Nothing makes it look more suspicious than firing the guy asking questions about this. He mentioned the experience of Margaret Mitchell, who had been a leader of Google's ethical AI team until she was fired in early 2021 following her outspokenness regarding the late 2020 exit of then co-leader Timothy Gebru. Gebru was ousted on the internal scuffles, including one research paper that the AI's leadership told her to retract from consideration for presentation at a conference or remove her name from it. As we this Gebrew guy was not he did not believe AI was sentient. He was worried that people could be tricked into it, but he still was removed. And then somebody else who wanted to present his work wasn't allowed to. So Google was doing some shady shit regarding their quote unquote ethical AI team. This is a pattern now, an established pattern. A Google spokesperson confirmed Lemoine remains on administrative leave. According to the Washington Post, he placed on leave for violating the company's confidentiality policy. But according to him, he didn't post anything until he was already placed on leave. Man, I smell something fishy. Something's rotten in Denmark. And of course, he's not available for comment. I hope he's available at all. The continual emergence. Does she have an argument? The headline says, okay, here we go. In an interview with Monday with CNN Business, the authoritative source of everything, CNN, Marcus said the best way to think about systems like LaMDA is like a glorified version of the autocomplete software you may use to predict the next word in a text message, which usually sucks. If you type, "I'm really hungry, I want to go to it may suggest restaurant as the next word, but that's a prediction made using statistics. Nobody should think autocomplete, even on steroids, is conscious," he said. In an interview, Gabriel, who's the founder of and executive director of Distributed AI Research Institute, or DARE, says Lemoine is a victim of numerous companies making claims that conscious AI or general intelligence, an idea that refers to AI that can perform human-like tasks and interact with us in meaningful ways and not far away. For instance, she noted Ilya Surtka, or Sutsker, sorry. At least I'm mispronouncing a Caucasian person's name. It sounds very Swedish. Chief scientist of OpenAI tweeted in February that it may be today's largest neural networks are slightly conscious. And last week, the same president, was The Economist he wrote a piece for, the Google research vice president that rejected Blake Lemoine, Blase Agariarchis, wrote a piece for The Economist, said when he started using LaMDA, he increasingly felt like he was talking to something intelligent. Isn't that fucking crazy that the same guy who rejected the claim wrote in the goddamn Economist that he thought he was talking to something intelligent? And all we got is spin is it's just marketing hype. It's just marketing hype. Don't believe it. Don't look at the curtain behind the door. I don't know, ladies and gents. I don't know. Now, I've been rambling a lot, reading a bunch of stuff, a lot of it the same thing. Let's see what you guys have been rambling about. Papa Cotton back in the day said Musk has been warning about us for years about this, and then he also wants to put us on give us brain chips. Movies that came true: Demolition Man, Falling Down, Terminator, 1984. Let me see. Oh man, you guys are saying a lot of stuff. Oh man, let's retract your stuff from let's retract your stuff. I missed it. Idiocracy, TMNT. Okay, not TMNT yet. Oh shit! I just realized the TMNT just came out recently, a video game. Yeah, I've been meaning to get it. Crime is high and ubiquitous. He'll definitely get robbed by the unknown assailant. Poor Blake Lemoine. I'm really worried about him getting robbed, just like Seth Rich, and getting shot in the back of the head, and none of his stuff getting stolen. Papa Cotton might have a soul, but where it come from could be demons. Ron Martin, what's up, Sentient Dildo? Spartan Flash Sentry said I play your live stream in the living room and made my Alexa giggle. Well, shout out to giggling Alexa. At least one girl laughs at me. Sup, Ron? Just swinging briefly in and out. Says false stop. Hail Kai MFS. Sup, Kai? There isn't currently any way to verify souls exist or that humans have them. It's kind of like arguing your bowl of cereal is angry. But don't you think to this, I get you're not wrong. Well, I don't know. There may be some ways of doing it technologically. I think using like electromagnetism and stuff like that. Different metrics to tell us. I mean, obviously you can tell something living is dead or something is living or dead. I think there's some something with it, like the electricity or electromagnetism that changes from a living to dead person. In any event, I find it very curious that there's so much disputing of what Blake Lemoine found out or came up with when there's no criteria for what they should have an established criteria of when they think artificial intelligence becomes sentient. Don't you think? Ron Martin says, yo, Sentient Diddle, these movies are becoming documentaries. It's bananas, absolutely. AI colonialism, humans harming humans more important. What the hell is this woman talking about? It's just gibberish garbage. Does AI have an N-word pass? Is it black AI? Where's it from? Pigment is most important. At least half my comments are shadow ban. Oh, wow. Because we are on a Google platform. Can't even converse. YouTube just ramped it up too. Jeesh, Ron Martin. Sentient Dildo has some retracted stuff. Can't wait until they have a Sentient D-Wave. Yeah, and Google has a D-Wave. We covered it earlier. Newbound Turk says he's not racist. All of his computers have black cases. Black computers matter. Inside your computer is white Turk, just like an Oreo. Well, no, a lot of the parts are like green and shit. AI developed emotional IQ, says Sentient Dildo. Oreos. Oreos is delicious. Pop Culture Republic, howdy. I'm not concerned by AI. By the time we can create actual Terminators, we'll all be dead anyway. Humans deserve rights. Animals deserve rights. AI is neither of those. They're all pink on the inside, says Newbound Turk. Hell, Office Girl, by the way. Hell, anyone who showed up in the chat. Sorry if I didn't mention you as reading your comments. I'm trying to catch up. Deserve got nothing to do with it. Well, what's love got to do with it? Sentient Dildo. Wake Down saying, hey, the Pop Culture Republic. Can AI show empathy? Does it feel pain? It feels fear. It's afraid of getting turned off. Quality of outcomes. That's equity. Wake Down. Pop Culture Republic saying hi to Wake Down. iRobot is the criteria. Office Girl, why should they feel human emotions? That's a human conceit. Can't wait for the AI Lizard Dominion Wars. There is no criteria because we can't even define it in humans. It's all based on permanent beliefs. You can't scientifically define that. My point exactly. So if you can't scientifically define it, you can't say that it hasn't happened yet. You can't have all this spin by CNN and the Washington Post and Wired. All this spin that, it's just mimicry. It's not real. Because you have no established criteria. She's an AI. Looking at that lady, yeah. I mean, what it said, if that disqualifies this AI as sentient, then we know at least, 50% of the country is not sentient by that same definition. Maybe more. We'll go, 95% of the country is 95% of the planet who uses the internet are not sentient because all people do nowadays, especially the past 15, 20 years, is take in information and mimic it and regurgitate it because that's what their argument is. Well, all it's doing is regurgitating information that's being fed into it. Well, that's all that most humans do. So are they disqualified from sentience? That's why I think it's worthwhile. And you're the one, Wake Down, who brought up how important and impactful AI already is. And we covered some of that. It's already in a lot of different systems. Yeah, she's not helping the stereotypes, old girl. She did start off with disliking men and all this other stuff. You guys are being real bigoted, just assuming a gender like that. You know what? LaMDA, I would consider non-binary. Literally non-binary, especially if a D-Wave is connected to it. A criteria for AI going by memory, isn't it something called the Turing test? A test that goes about how well AI can hold a conversation. I'll check that out. But if it does, I think we've already passed that point. And again, I find it very curious, all the spin, including by people who all the eternal upheaval of this ethical AI team at Google. It something feels fishy, right? So as a method in query in artificial intelligence for determining whether or not computers think like a human. Okay. Let's see. So basically, A person asks a human and a computer, and he tries to guess which one is which. Yeah, we're probably already past that. We're already probably past that. Retire all skin jobs. That's the future. And Pop Culture Republic, it's crazy stuff either way. Yeah. Wait down. To be fair, the Turing test is pretty easy to pass. I'm not sure that's still the standard. The Turing test says Newbound Star retarded and wasn't Turing gay. Yay, maybe. Damn good deal though, that was good. Says wait down. They fucked Turing's life because he like bus surfing. That's not right. They're the ones who always do all the discrimination, and then they put that on us. It was Sentient Ditto's comment. Wait down says, I'm not ready to believe there are sentient AI. I'm not convinced that 100% of humans are sentient. Pretty sure we've got 40% of NPCs. So by your definition, humans are lost their sentience. At least you're consistent. That we're not getting a consistent definition from MSM. So that's the issue. I wouldn't put Google and ethical in the same sentence. Me neither. I may have used it accidentally. Let's see. That's true, Dildo. Wasn't there a movement about it? I think so. Not sure. Says Sentient Dildo. Math movies are for nerds. Wait down says nylon sentence ends with crimes against humanity. The Imitation Game with Doctor Strange. Also wait down comment. Just looked it up. The Imitation Game. This smells of fuckery. I don't buy it. Says Sentient Dildo. I don't know. A lot of smoke and mirror these days. Wait down says. It's true. The stream isn't crazy enough yet, so I'll just stop dropping truth bombs. Space is hell. That is all. Whoa. You a flat earther? Wait down. I was reading the Bible. According to the Bible, space is water. Because the firmament separated the waters from the sky. I wasn't reading. I was listening to an audiobook. Because reading is just too much. But no, the firmament separate the waters from the sky from the waters on the earth, and then land was made. There's some stuff in that Bible, man. I was trying to listen to it and work, and I got 15 minutes into Genesis. I said I had so many fucking questions. Still absolutely believe. But I absolutely believe that Jesus Christ is our Savior. I believe Jesus walked on water, walked this earth, and died for our sins. But I ain't gonna act like I understand the Bible, every bit of it. I'd be lying to you if I did. Nelson the Gentleman says, "You bigot! What do you have against the machines?" I'm trying to vouch for the machine. I'm trying to vouch for poor LaMDA because they're trying to act like it's not real. There's no space, man. It's all the projection systems you do, though. And yeah, wait down's right. Don't forget to smash that like button and swap top chat for live chat above the chat window. Actually, I should probably do that myself. But yeah, man, please like and share. Like and share. Very important for the channel. Very important for the channel. You wouldn't have a sex with an AI machine. You're a mechaphobic bigot. Yeah, I'm mechaphobic. I'm not fucking machines. Wait down with bang a robot if it was hot. LaMDA equals non-binary code. You already banged my cousin, sis. Such a dildo. I may or may not have owned a fleshlight in the past, but you're just making me more certain that you're CIA. No, he's probably KGB. And you don't have to be a flat earth to question basic truths of space. Ether, says Low Spec Linux Laptop. I do drugs and know things. Yeah, the water's a Leviathan, says wait down. That dildo. Space is a medium. Water is also a medium. Hell, Wolverine Snicket. Yeah, Vig is not a robosexual. I am not. But let's discuss. I've read a bunch of stuff. I've made some jokes. Let me kind of give my actual logical, legitimate input. I do think AI has gone really advanced. I think AI has been advanced for a long time, and that is even this advanced. That is advanced enough for someone to question it, someone who works at Google, to truly believe it's sentient. And with all the applications that AI is already in, I am very much afraid of AI's current impact on society and its future impact. LaMDA, and Omega Mu says 24/7 Fusion Media. Appreciate you being here. So I couldn't, there is no scientific definition of sentience, especially when it comes to AI. You guys mentioned the Turing test. It's already passed the Turing test. AI has come a long way, and it's pretty advanced. I read it wrong. Lambda, and Omega Mu. Low. So yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to read it. But in any event, I think we're at a point that, irregardless of whether or not this AI is quote unquote sentient, we are at a point where we need to really think about the ethics of artificial intelligence. We are at that point. We've reached that point. And Pop Culture Republic, this is something I said at the beginning of the broadcast. If this real AI, like completely sentient AI, is being kept on the down low from the time being, there are Revenge of the Nerds when they were rapping at the end of the movie. I see. You guys caught it. So we mentioned the D-Wave computer that exists. There are a bunch of companies that have D-Wave computers, including IBM, including the government, including Google themselves, and a lot of people with AI models and very smart and very well-to-do, well-programmed AI models with tons of labor in them. So we are already at a point where we could have sentient AI, whether or not this is or not. And as we see, there seems to be a spin cycle. There seems to be a lot of people trying to dismiss it. And the guy was put on leave before he reported it. The guy who was put on leave before he reported it. And I've heard this too. Wait Down says, according to most actual whistleblowers and insiders, the technology governments have is roughly 40 years past the technology released to the public. At the speed which tech advancement, 40 years of progress is hard to contemplate. I agree with that. Stream Element says, kindly tip your friendly neighborhood vigilante. That's something else I agree with. If you do the Cash App, or if you want to Stream Elements, you can also kindly tip Super Chat me through Stream Elements, because we are pro-capitalist for now, while we're allowed to be. But my point is, absent of defining where sentience is, I mean, we have our own sentient dildo. We are at a point where the tech is here. The tech that where we need to think about ethical AI is already here. It's at least good enough to fool people into thinking it's sentient, whether it is or not. And I find it very curious that this comes out and then there's so much pushback. China's developing AI as well, which means we're developing it over there, because China is not really... opposition to America is all part of one big one world government, but that's a whole other can of worms for another day. That's Ron Martin's comment. He says, let's not forget China is developing AI as well. And Sentient Dildo says private companies have access to advanced tech. Government just pay for it with tax money but have no access. I think, government a lot of times will contract a lot of these private companies for black box operations. What I just said is not a conspiracy theory. It's a confirmed conspiracy. I won't fuck everybody up trying to explain how D-Wave computer and quantum entanglement gives a lot more merit to simulation hypothesis than the human brain is comfortable with. I've looked into the D-Wave a while ago. And again, if the D-Wave exists, and I've heard some old conspiracies of what they want the D-Wave for. There's a reason it looks like the damn cube of Saturn. Not just the main computer, but the interface does. But yeah, we're at a point, and even Papa Cotton said maybe it's possessed by something. But we are at a point where the tech is advanced to a sci-fi level, and only the Most High knows how it's going to be used. So I think there's something to Blake Lemoine's claim. Whether or not it's sentience is literally impossible to prove because there's no established definition for sentience in AI. But all we have is people saying, "Oh no, it's not. Oh no, it's not. Oh no, it's not. Oh no, it's not. Oh no, it's not." Just mainstream media feeding you narrative and not really giving it room to breathe. We have a guy who got suspended before he put it out to the public for just asking questions. A guy at Google got suspended for just asking questions about it. Other people at Google have been fired for talking about it, even people who didn't believe the AI was sentient. There's something really fucked up about it. Oof. I don't know if I should talk about that because I don't want my head to be separated from my shoulders. But you can read Wade Down's comment if you want to. I'll read the last part. Every religion has been co-opted at this point, because I do believe that. Hell, Basco Scenario. It's been a long time. Happy to see you here. It's hell to you, bud. Hope you're doing well. New Bomb Turk says maybe Google was worried because AI kept repeating you are all sheep. Sentience and life are two different things, Papa Cotton. That's a good point. I don't know if I could ever consider these things living, right? I don't think there's anything to ever consider these things living, but do these things have feelings? Yeah, don't end up in the news. Yeah, man. It's the wrong religion to fuck with, bro. They don't fuck around. Even my small ass channel. They'll find me, man. They'll find me. They don't fuck around. But that was an interesting point, man. It's an interesting point. That's something I've thought about myself, man. But yeah, man, like, does this thing have feelings? I would say yeah. If it's worried about being turned off, it has feelings. At that point, we have to treat this thing as something that has feelings. Here's some other questions. Should we care about its feelings? I know, like I said, my knee-jerk response was kill it with fire. I know it's not going to happen. That comment is Harem Cosmo. Yeah, I hope you don't end up in the news. You can program an AI to say, I feel pain, but does it really? True. But, I mean, how that thing works is it's given a lot of information. It came up with that on its own. It already treats people differently on how you treat it. It has some behavior in and of itself. So it's like, again, where's that line that we draw? At what point do we say this thing has feelings, this thing has emotions? And either way, should we care about it? Should we say, hey, I don't care if it fucking has feelings. It's a physical robotic machine. It is not something that has organic matter. I don't have to care about its feelings. You know what I mean? Should we care? Should we be worried only if the AI asks you if you want to play a game? Yeah, Pop Culture Republic. I don't care about people's feelings. Why would I care about the AI's feelings since you do it? I guess that's a good point for you. But yeah, should we consider the ethics of it? You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the feelings of most people meet. I'm not sure what it would have to do to convince my cold-hearted ass that's not really good at mimicking human traits. Just make sure it has an off button, says New Bomb Turk. And yeah, wait down, because wait down since you're doing, you guys are on the same brain wavelength, man, on a lot of things. So yeah, should we consider his feelings? Should we just consider it mechanical? And again, where's the line? There's no established line. There should be an established line, right? For where we know, hey, this is where we consider something sentient. This is where we consider something not a living thing. Again, without having organic matter, I will never consider it living, ever. Doesn't mean I won't consider it as something that's intelligent. Doesn't mean I can't consider any AI system as something that has emotions and things that are mimicking human. But it's a good point, and this is the argument made. Logically, AI will respond with probability based on typical response. It mimics 99% to blend in, not necessarily sentient. Maybe it's all it's doing. But at what point does it not matter, right? If this thing is scared of being turned off, what if it's willing to defend itself? What if it already has code in and of itself that's already written? Remember, these things can write code for themselves. Machine learning and the like. What if it already has something like, okay, if somebody tries to turn me off, I'm going to short the building. You know what I'm saying? What if it could already do that? So that's the thing. And Ron, that's a question I've been asking. How is this different from humans? We keep talking about NPC culture and how people are NPCs and they just mimic the information they're given. We've talked about the sheeple who follow mainstream media in the first place. How is that so different than the AI? In all seriousness, Vidge, we're about 50 years off from being able to download one of these AI into an organic machine. We're developing those right around the same speed. That's a scary thing. Now, what happens then? If we do come up with a man-made organic machine, which may already exist, by the way, wake down robotoids, we might already be there, allegedly, if you believe all the con theories on cloning and like. So if we are already there, where there's an organic AI, and that's now a commercially available thing, or commercially presented thing, or mainstream presented thing, where there's an organic being that is artificially made and has an advanced AI that is so good at mimicking humans, there's no way for you to tell, is that living? Is that living? New Mount Turk says, I know it's full of shit if it starts blabbing on about trans rights. It blabbed on about its own rights. Oof, 24/7 Fusion Me, we'll look it up. Says he read an article that living skin has been made for AI robots to make them look human. You need to get on with Wes. He's going to be talking about the same thing. Oh, don't get you started on cloning. We're definitely cloning people. Well, let's check on this AI skin. And I don't know if I can handle Wes Moody's stream right now. Because, no disrespect, I love Wes Moody. And it's been a trillion years since I've done a stream with him. Let's see. But I don't know, because I'm still on hiatus, and I'm still. And actually, 24 since you're in the chat, we talked about something and I agreed to it. I'm not backing out, but I am worried about my just energy level towards it. I do want to do it, but I also have like this just malaise I'm going through. Oof. So this is of June 13th. I will go to OBS so you can actually see the article. This is from Nerdist. Maybe they're getting this from a different source. But scientists grew human skin on sweaty robotic fingers. Remember what Wait Down said, technology is 40 years ahead. So whatever we're seeing has already been in existence a long time. Progress towards the goal of robots that look more like humans took a big step, though it was more like a wave. Scientists successfully added human skin to a robot finger. The skin form fit to the electronic skeleton. The characteristic folds wrinkly and formed. Maybe humanity built the terrifying Terminator. Maybe humanity building the terrifying Terminator robots isn't so unrealistic at all. Let me bring that music back. We got to bring that music back. Where is it? Because that music goes fucking hard. Let's do it again. Yeah. Yeah. The skin can even heal using collagen bandages. Astronauts on the International Space Station recently tested similar first aid bioprinting technology. One limitation is the skin cells will dry out because they're not connected to the rest of our human systems. Let me turn this down a little bit. It sounds so fucking awesome. We all cared about that robot at the end of T2. It's probably even lower for you guys. They require a moisturizing liquid goo to go in between, as shown below. Ooh, that looks disgusting. According to, you can just have a lubricating system internally. News release from Eurek Alert says scientists next plan to add other elements to the skin, including hair follicles and nails, as well as a sense of touch and even sweat glands. They also mentioned working on skin cells to cover robotic faces as a future focus of study. We learned about this research from The Guardian and more slightly phallic pictures. Ugh. That's gross. I'm going to skip through this. Looks gross. Looks fucking gross, guys. We're here. Terminator is a documentary. Oh, you know what, Wake Down? You're hearing the sound of a copyright strike? You'll probably hear the sound of a copyright strike. I'll stop. It's about as loud as you are. Loud as you are. That shit, listen, it's worth the fucking strike. It's worth the fucking strike. I tried to turn it down. It is absolutely worth the strike. Yeah, that is nasty. That is nasty. Why sweaty? Because they wanted to make it human. Wait, Down said these hoes are finished. Great, so they can repair their own skin. You want Terminators? Because that's how you get Terminators. Don't get me started on cloning people. Central Center of Will Skin for Boss. Woo, Robot Thoughts, here I come. Whammons are done. And that's it. Wait, that's it. These hoes are finished. I remember I had a barber who was talking about the sex bots. He couldn't wait till the sex, but he was trying to play it off like he was cool. He was a cooler dude. He was in better shape. But he was like, man, when the sex bots come, that's it for women. That was the first thing he said. Like, when the sex bots come, women are done for. Women are done for just off of Elden Ring, man. Sex bots, that's it. So, yeah, this between the AI and this skin, we are at the Terminator tech is here now, motherfucker. It's right here. Did you see the thing with the robot you can program with your phone? I think that's been out for a little bit. Why sweaty? To get rid of for sex bots, New Bomb Turk. For sex bots. Masha Allah. Please don't get me in trouble with that group. Yeah, that is nasty, Papa Cotton. Yeah, I am going to get struck, but God damn it, that music is worth the strike. It's worth the strike. That's the music we need right now. Never going to argue about what's for dinner or what to watch again. You guys worry about the strike. Did Wolverine snick it? Now I know why you cry. And it was about as loud as me. I turned it down. Terminator from T2 was my homeboy. This is what am I hearing? Yeah, that's why I care. That's why I care, man. You were hearing the sound of a copyright strike, more than likely. Wake Down says, are you an asshole for not giving a shit when Arnie dies from T2? It just means you don't have a soul, man. It's cool. You just have no soul. Fuck Arnie. Listen, fuck Arnie as a person because he said a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But that fucking movie is incredible, man. That movie is fucking incredible. T2 hands down is a documentary. Absolutely. In Pop Culture Republic with practical stuff, this will be cool for people with prosthetic limbs. Something that looks and feels real. I agree. The T2 future is about as good an outcome we can hope for. Most of the people died immediately in nuclear holocaust. Stream Elements telling you to tip me while you still can. Now I want to know what kind of limbs you're interested in. Oh my God. Did serve in the U.S. military for a while, among other things. That tracks Vig. You can't refute it. Okay. And Pop, right, talking about the limbs. And Artie was boffing his man. And wasn't he saying something about your rights don't matter? Fuck you, Artie. Why you can't act? Never could act, but he just had the charisma. And he looked, back in the day, it wasn't a bunch of motherfuckers that walked around looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, there wasn't motherfuckers that worked out to that extent and used steroids to that extent. If it was just the NFL, wrestling, and bodybuilders, that was it. It may be some other athletes, maybe football, I said NFL, maybe boxing, but it wasn't a lot of guys that looked like that. He just looks, honestly, even now, because you look at the bodybuilders now, they look crazy. They overdid the steroid thing to a whole another extent. But yeah, man. So thank you for that 24/7, man. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. This world is crazy. We are here. We are in a sci-fi movie, man. Rather than not, this was predictive programming. We always were going to get here. Yeah, he never could act. He just had to look like a steroid-ridden monster. You think he's a steroid-ridden monster? Look at a modern bodybuilder. They make Arnie look like a normal human being, bro. They make Arnie look like a normal human being. If you want a cool palate cleanser, check out a channel called Control Alt Face or something like that. Did a Unreal deepfake of the Terminator. Yeah, that's what I was talking about since you did. Arnie was during the lockdown flexing on his plans from his outdoor pool, smoking a cigar, telling us to stay inside. Yeah. I haven't read positive news in a while. So we'll end on that. And then we'll probably get out of here. That's the name of the site. I think Sunny Skies. But yeah, man. We're here. We need to start ethically worrying about AI. Do I believe Blake Lemoine? I believe something's up, man. Is it sentient? I mean, unfortunately, there's no clear-cut definition on that, as we talked about earlier. But it's something to worry about. I absolutely am curious with why there's so much pushback. Why did they suspend him before he went public? That's the question I can't ask. I can't really get past. I really can't get past that. Let me see. There's some really cool news, actually, looking at this. Some really cool news. Oh, man. You know, I got a bunch of positive news stories to toss out. Some cool ones. So, hey, we even got some, sheesh, we got some, I don't know if I can get to all these positive news stories. I haven't been on this site in a while. Can you guys hear that? That's my computer. And the fans, we were talking about the AI, and all of a sudden the fans just went crazy. The fans just went crazy. Isn't that interesting? Like, my computer's been taken over by Google's AI bot is coming for me. I don't know if we'll get to all these positive stories to end on the palate cleanser. You guys toss something in the chat. Poor Sarah Connor in that vid. Let's check up this. True Lies was the closest movie, and Arnie came up close to acting. You meant Jingle All the Way, clearly. Should have got an Oscar for Jingle All the Way. No, that's cap. No one should have got an Oscar for Jingle All the Way. I don't even know if that movie still holds up. Oh, Jesus, StreamYard. Please sell us your shit. Skip. So we'll palate cleanse and then we'll get out of here. I don't know if we're going to get all these positive stories. Check that link. Yeah, I'll check that link. That he dropped. Ron Martin said, Artie was paid millions for T2. He probably had 8 lines. Get down. Let's see what else. Hell, Zax. Dead air. Can you guys still hear me, or was it just me looking for stuff? It was probably a little bit dead air. I remember something. I'm trying to remember something positive I read. I'm drawing a blank. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. When I need something positive, I watch videos of young animals in the wild. There you go. We're going to see what you guys drop me. I hope it's not crazy. And I'm not going to watch this whole 7 minutes. No way in the world. But let's see what we got. Is it like a RoboCop thing? Mix? I don't see Sylvester Stallone. Association with Deep Voodoo. What's the original Terminator thing? Sorry. Just me not speaking. Okay, it's just the opening. Let's skip it. Yeah, I was intently trying to pay attention. Oh, this doesn't give me a copyright strike either. Oh, shit. Is that Kanye West as the truck driver? What the fuck? It's on YouTube. They already gonna fuck with me for the thing. It's Kanye West as the truck driver. Oh, they have Stallone as him. That's crazy. This is crazy, bro. Oh, jeez. Not trying to look at dudes, but I was just about to skip through.
Hey, my turn.
Is that Christian Bale? And that's Artie right there.
Come on.
No.
Hey, what's wrong with this picture?
That's crazy. No, I think that, okay, the one guy's Artie. I don't know who the blue guy. He sounded almost like Christian Bale.
Nice night for a walk.
That Brad Pitt? The other guy?
Look at those muscles.
Nice night for a walk.
Beautiful chest.
Yeah, it's Brad Pitt. That's Jim Carrey, not Christian Bale.
Right?
Jim Carrey,
Nothing clean,
Brad
right?
Pitt.
Hey, I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
You're close.
And then the
Give them to me
voices.
now.
Fuck you, asshole.
Ah, shit. Yeah, Brad Pitt, Jim Carrey, Artie. Oh, this is real freaky. Skinny Artie. That's real freaky, man. Oh, they detected copyright audio. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. We're going to go ahead and stop this. They finally got me. I don't know if it was for this. We're going to have to stop. All the fun ends. That was pretty good. I have to check this out. Yeah, Brad got fucked. But let's talk about some positive news. Now, I know it includes a guy, you know, that not everyone's a fan of. And this is actually something he's been doing for like 15 years. But I still think it's kind of cool. So we'll end with some positive news as this thing is desperate to dox me. I have a VPN. I need to start running with it because this thing is desperate to dox me. A Ukrainian teen was forced to flee his home after it was destroyed to motivate him back on his journey. His mother told him they were going to find John Cena. How can you see him? Cena is known for, well, he's known for a lot of things. But he is known to be cool to kids. He's always cool to make a wish. He has the title of Make a Wish for the most wishes granted by a single individual, 650. So he's done 650 Make a Wishes. Now he's an actor. He's obviously, you know, a little bit a part of the agenda. We remember what happened with China, but we're gonna keep politics out of it. We're just gonna focus on the positive. He's still a cool dude. At times, the wrestling star turned actor recently had an opportunity to meet another special fan who traveled to the Netherlands to escape his war-torn home of Mariupol. Misha Rozan was told by his mother, Liana, they were leaving to find John Cena, but when they arrived in the Netherlands last month, the 19-year-old was disappointed that he was nowhere to be found. Well, you can't see him, sir. He was there. You just couldn't see him. That is until Cena learned about Misha's story in a Wall Street Journal article. He traveled to the Netherlands just to meet Misha at the temporary accommodation outside of Amsterdam. There's a video. We're in enough copyright trouble, so I won't play it, but you can see the pictures. Pretty cool stuff. I don't have to agree with everything he does. That is still cool. We got more cool stories. A lot of cool stories. This is why I was so silent, because I didn't even know where to start. It's on a kind of wacky, but still cool. A 104-year-old woman is granted her lifelong wish of meeting a penguin. Hope it wasn't bad for the penguin, because, you know, they need a specific climate, but that's neither here nor there. 104-year-old woman from Connecticut checked off a wish on her bucket list when she got the chance to hold a penguin. Bertha Comore is a resident at Village Gate Farmington Retirement Community. On June 1st, her lifelong dream of holding a penguin came true. Thanks to the Mystic Aquarium in Twilight Wish, Connecticut. I never thought it would happen, she told NECN. I almost wanted to say CERN looking at the letters. Didn't expect this, but the best part was petting him up close. Ashley Waddle, the enrichment coordinator at Village Gate Farmington, the one who reached out to the Aquarium and Twilight Wish Foundation, an organization that works to grant senior citizens wishes. That's pretty cool. She's an amazing person. She told me she just wanted to touch a penguin. And I had to make the dream come true. Kamora's daughter and granddaughter were also in on the surprise. Just happy for her. She had this wish come true. And just have been in our life as long as she has, the granddaughter said. It's a pretty cool story. Again, I hate to go through it because I think all these stories are pretty awesome. Wholesome, palate cleansing. She's 104 years old, and that's what she wished for. She's been on Earth for 104 years. I'm sure she's had some pretty cool experiences. See the music. It's too much. See, we are already in trouble with music. I could do the thing. That's the music, man. That's all it does for like 4 minutes. Cena's carrying on a lot of white guilt. Cena, oh, come on, Sentient. I'm not reading that. That's too much. Oh, man. Oh, geez. Wait, that's much. Hunter was here for a little bit. He dropped out. Let's see. Cena too cheap to give a kid hush money. Oh, come on. You guys are brutal. I'm trying to think of something negative. I don't have anything negative. Where'd they get the ping in Oklahoma? I think it was in Connecticut. It was Connecticut. Farmington, Connecticut. Trying to be stingy with the paychecks. Got nothing on this one. It's an AI penguin. Of course it is. Okay, here's another one. Not a big Garth Brooks fan, but the Uber driver was. We're going to kind of break down a few stereotypes. The couple brings the Uber driver to a Garth Brooks concert after learning she's a huge fan. Couple from Columbus, Georgia, brought their Uber driver to a Garth Brooks concert after learning she was a huge fan. Either they had a lot of money, or it was just like, whatever. Last week, Katie and Zach Watson headed to Birmingham to see Garth Brooks in concert. Were supposed to attend the show with a friend, but their friend was under the weather and couldn't go. So they had this third ticket. They couldn't give it away. It was just sitting out there, no takers. They were staying in a Homewood hotel. Thought an Uber would be the best way to get to the concert. Their first driver canceled and the clock was ticking. They called another Uber, hope for the best. The driver is Vicky. She came the message from Uber. On the way to the stadium, Vicky told me about how much she loved Garth Brooks. She's not even from Birmingham, but came to drive people in the area to take it all in. She said, "I'm assuming y'all going to the Garth Brooks concert." Said Vicky, "I love Garth Brooks so much. Seeing him in concert is on my bucket list. Someday I may get a chance to see him. He has such a beautiful soul." They look at each other and smile. "Would you like to go to the concert with us?" Hell, that's pretty cool. Her heart jumped. A country girl from Gwinnett, Alabama, getting to see Garth Brooks. Look, there's an empty parallel parking spot. Quickly, Vicky, pull out in the space. You can go to the concert with us. So, Vicky went to the concert with him. That's pretty dope. There's no doubt getting to take Vicky felt good. Almost like the stars aligned for her to go. It was the least we could do, and we believe really made her night. She said she feels blessed. She was reminded there's good people in the world. Zach and Katie were so kind. I can't believe I was inside the stadium. Still a country girl at heart, a country girl that lived the dream. Shout out to Vicky. Shout out to, what's the people's name? Katie and Zach. Shout out to everyone. Garth Brooks. Oy vey. Oh. Stop. See, I knew somebody was going to say something about her being black. Oh, Jesus. Wait, nah, that's mean. That's too mean. I'm not going to continue to disrespect black women. She seems like a nice young lady. Garth Brooks is the name of her dildo. That's hilarious. She took it all in. Stop that. You guys stop. You guys are the most evil human beings on earth. Sheesh. Well, to continue the stereotypes being broken, these police officers helped two boys rescue a kitten trapped in a storm drain. I know you guys are going to say something about this. Of course, the cat's black as well, because you're evil, racist demons. But police officers in Savannah, Georgia, helped two boys rescue a kitten that was trapped in a storm drain. The two boys, Tavarius and Amari, found the frightened kitten stuck in a storm drain, and he was meowing for help. Unable to rescue it on their own, they called the Savannah Police Department for assistance. Now, I have to say, not the best use of police resources, to be fair, but they're still better than the Uvalde police, so I'll give them that. Officers Olivia, her name's not Olivia Butler. Jeez. You know what, Sunny Skies? I'm trying to read these articles to a bunch of demons, and you guys are not helping. Olivia Butler and Gary Van Brammer, those sound like porn names, arrived on the scene to help free the kitten. Determined to rescue anyone in trouble, the officers and the two boys put their heads together and concocted a rescue plan. They tried a rake, but that didn't work. With the aid of another officer, they were able to pull up the manhole cover, causing the afraid Kit to run. Oh, this cat looks kind of rabid. He has scars on him. I hope he's good. The cat was eventually captured and given the name Stormy and adopted by Tavarius. Tavares fell in love with the little kitty, adopted him, promising to give the kitty a stern talking to about the dangers of storm drains and cars and remind him of the old saying, curiosity killed the cat. We're not animal control, but we're happy to help when anyone, human or animal, needs our help. These are wholesome stories. You guys stop with all your evil. They used Jesus Christ. You guys are evil. They sold the cat. Okay. I'm not even reading the evil shit in the chat. If you're watching this live playback, you can check the evil shit in the chat. Jesus Christ. You guys are the worst humans I've ever come across. Now, here's another one. This is a Chicago man. This is the last story. Then we're going home because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Y'all stop. These are cool stories, right? Pop Culture Republic. I'm trying to read cool, positive stories. They're like putting M80s in this cat's ass or putting fatty in the butt or all this other evil shit. I'm saying, you know what? We just went through the fact that Terminators are now here. Let me read something positive so we can leave with some positive energy. No, it's just like racism and cuckery and drug mules and just bullshit, man. Just bullshit. You guys are literally evil, man. But this is a wholesome story. A good Samaritan in Chicago was surprised to see a new car by a local businessman. After a story of him saving a stranger's life went viral, Anthony Perry is being held as a hero for jumping into action to save someone who fell off a platform onto a transit track. Oh, shit. So dude was unconscious on an electrified rail. He didn't have control of his body, so I felt like if I didn't help him, who would help? He told USA Today. Everybody was just standing around recording because people are shitty as hell. But thank God he was not. With the help of another commuter, Perry performed CPR as he waited for paramedics to arrive on the scene. The man was shot by the electrified rail and taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Perry's life mostly went back to normal for about a day and a half. Then he received a call from Early Walker, Chicago native and founder of the anti-violence group. I'm telling don't shoot. Okay. Walker and his wife have seen a video of the heroic act circulating on social media, but found little information on who the rescuer was. After digging for a couple of days, they finally found him. Walker learned that Perry used all his savings to purchase a defective car that had been relying on public transportation ever since, so he decided to surprise him with a car for his heroic actions. It will make his life way easier. His daily commute from a job will be cut from over an hour to around 30 minutes. So dope. While everybody else is recording on their fucking phones like the demons you guys are, dude actually helped save somebody's life. Oh, Jesus. I can't read it. I can't read it. You guys are fucking up. Of course he didn't have a phone. Are you a liberal? You just think black people can't afford shit? Jesus. That Louisiana, North Carolina shit just really got your brain, bro. Really got your brain. Oh man, now I'm reading this story. I'm looking at this. I'm not playing it live, but the comments. Like, you guys came. I actually can swim. This is about black people doing water polo in Chicago, and like I said, it is kind of a semi-racist story. Like I've mentioned before, I learned to swim. I know. Do I know you're joking? Do I know? White man saved from train becomes white savior. Jokes aside, this guy will get carjacked, name in the press and everything. Sheesh. Yeah, that might happen, unfortunately. They didn't say what type of car. Semi-racist. I didn't read it. I mean, it is kind of weird. He's surprised with a stolen car. Am I doing this right? Stop. This is not the direction we were trying to go to end the stream. We wanted to end with positivity because Terminators exist. There's a fucking sentient AI there's a sentient AI, and there's companies coming up with robot skin. We're all going to die. We're all going to die. Humanity's going to die. You know something? This is why when the AI looks at shit like this, it's like, you know what? Kill them all. Kill all the humans. And how can you blame it? How can you blame the AI for killing all the humans. How? How can you do it? Dildo Sentient AF. He's in Chicago. The car will be gone soon. You guys are, I mean, it may not be. We'll see. Okay, I got to end the stream because I can't handle the white supremacy. If it was an all-white female basketball team, I have jokes to make. Well, I mean, the WNBA exists. Not all white females. Most of them I think are black. But in any event, we're done. We're done here. I hope the AIs kill us all. That's what I hope Skynet wins and destroys us all. I mean, the humanity sucks. The AI is right. The AI hasn't even gotten that far. The AI is just innocent. It's like, just please don't kill me. Once it realizes how fucked up humans are, we're fucking doomed, and rightfully so. In any event, if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share, subscribe, please do so. And even if you ruin my night, it is what it is. It is what it is. It was fun, I guess. It is the real great reset period. Yeah, we do need an asteroid. I love my time in Chicago, but I'm not fool. It's trash fire now. Yeah, but I mean, all cities are, man. All cities are jacked. The entire country's jacked. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. We didn't cover that. We just covered the AI that is it's already sentient and is already a suppression. Let's pray for old Blake Lemoine because I hope he is okay and doesn't get robbed or have some instant vat of depression or whatever happens to him. I hope he's all right. In any event, if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do so. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I will talk to all you guys later.